Okay, so here we have a pillow, right? And why do we have a pillow? It's because we're going to use this as our body. Now you can use a pillow. This one's a bit big, I think. You can use whatever you want. That's like an object, kind of. A pillow is good because it's got a bit of push. It's similar to, I guess you would say, like flesh, a body, right? Get yourself some kind of object that you use. If you got like a plush toy or like a hugging pillow or something, that would actually work really well. And firstly, to start off with, if you need to take a minute to meditate to kind of stabilize your energy, to circulate it, usually you don't really want to do this stuff on another person if you don't feel good. If you feel bad, you're going to make the other person feel bad. But of course, realistically, we do have lives to live, and you're always going to feel a little bit bad. So it's just kind of how it is, right? So feel good enough to start. And then what we do is you want to feel, you want to put your hands on it. Of course, if you're touching an inappropriate or a delicate area of a person, people do have issues with under the belt areas, of course, and you could have to heal them. Then you just put your hands over or around it, right? And you want to feel your hands. Okay, so you feel your hands to stimulate the energy, because again, your feeling is what directs your energy. And you just feel it, you just touch and feel the connection between the objects. So where your hand is touching the object, you want to feel that, because what happens is you're trying to project energy out and to feel an object. If you have them in the air, you feel the hand's connection to the air. And essentially what this does is that I can feel it like mist coming out of my hands, or it's like cold air almost. You can control it whether it's cold or hot. You don't really have to worry about, and I can also see it a little bit. You don't have to worry about, feel like actually projecting like a mist or an air, because it's more of like an electromagnetic phenomenon. I actually haven't figured out what it fully, what it measurably is, but point being, it's fine as long as you try to feel out of your hand. So you want to the first exercise is you just want to feel as far out of your hand as you can, and to try to connect with the object or the body of the person, or the plant, the animal, whatever. The whole pillar, I'm trying to feel with my hands on it. I'm trying to feel the whole pillar, right? And it's partly mental, and it's partly with the hands. It's almost like you're using your hands as almost like a brain. Like you're using them to think almost. It's a bit of a weird thing. Anyway, once you can do that, you want to project energy out into the object. And the way I do that from my body, like my torso, I'm kind of releasing through my torso, through my arms, into the hands. What I'm doing is I'm pushing with my energy. I'm not pushing physically. I'm pushing almost like mentally or with my feeling. And you'll feel it drawing out from within you because you're using your own energy. But you also want to draw it out and push out with your feeling towards the object or the person or whatever. But you also want to contain it in the object. So essentially what's going on is that I am it's similar to the first exercise where we have to focus on the object, because when you're focusing on the object, you're essentially containing the energy in it. So we're focusing on the object. While focusing on the object, we're pushing energy into it. You want to hold that sensation of like, pushing in, but also encapsulating the object, basically focusing on it. And you'll just keep doing this. And this is a good enough, this is a good enough thing, so to speak, that people should be able to feel it. Now, what you can do is you can get your arm, you can get your other hand, and you can practice this. All right, so hand on arm. What I'm going to do is with my hand, I'm extending my feeling out to my kind of wrist and arm, right? I'm extending my feeling out. Already when I do that, I'm feeling heats and like a little bit of stimulation. It's relaxing. And then I'm drawing the energy out. So I'm feeling it. I'm almost like I'm filling a bottle full of mist or gas or something, right? That's kind of what it feels like. I'm encapsulating the bottle, as in I'm making sure there's like a barrier or a boundary, which is me focusing on the object of the region, and then I'm also releasing into it. And you can enhance and use more pressure, use more strength, and you just feel what that feels like. Maybe it feels like nothing. Maybe it feels like something. If you have a sore area of the body, try it out. Because again, this is the same, and then do the other hand. This is the same as working on a person. Yeah, I can feel my meridians, basically the lines of energy starting to stimulate, because that's what will happen. It'll go in here, because this part, unless you really compress it within here, it's just going to go through the hand and through the arm and back out through your whole body. Essentially, it's just going to go through the meridians. That's how like the energy works. Yep. So again, I'm kind of pushing in, and if you have trouble feeling, like I can psychically feel, objects. I can just look at things and feel them. That's something you can do. Is you can grab an object, and then you can just focus on it mentally. Then you hold it and you try to feel it, and you practice that, right? So going on now, we can do the same thing, except we can. Okay, so I'm focusing on the pillow, on its area, and I'm giving it energy. And one thing to do is just to keep giving it energy for like 5 minutes or as long as you can, because it's gonna drain you. It's gonna take your energy to do this, right? And you have to practice. You have to practice being able to give a lot of energy, because if you want to help someone, it's going to take a lot from you. So that's one thing to do. Another thing to do is to go push strongly, push as strongly as you can. So right now I'm trying to fill this with a lot of energy. Not so strongly. You got to pay attention to your body. You don't want to like tense up too hard, because then you're going to give people like hotter. So what happens? Tension, it's like, you can think it's like toxic heat, and then relaxation is more like cold, right? It's related to that, or it's too weak. So if you do too strong, it's going to be you're going to make it toxic. But you practice that, make it stronger. Because again, sometimes you might need to speed things up. So make it like strongly imbue the pillow with energy, and then you relax, and do it again. Strongly imbue it with energy as much as you can. Again, encapsulating it, like focusing on the object. You kind of use that like mentally. You kind of do it as well, and then relax. And when you relax, you'll notice in your torso, in your body, that you start to like gather back the energy. You gather back, internally, and you push out. And the heart is used a lot, I think. Could just be that I'm using my hand and my arms, but I think the heart is like a major center for this. And then the head is more like a subtler, because you can just focus mentally on someone and then you stimulate them, it's a subtler energy, and then relax. It is a subtler energy, but it does work, I believe. So that's why psychic, curses and all that kind of stuff works. So anyway, you've got some exercises. All right, so let's summarize. Number one, put your hands and just feel the object, or feel the air. That's another one. You do it from the air as well. You feel the air extend and try to extend the feeling. It's like you're pushing out gently. Because again, when you push out, you're releasing energy, and you need to release energy to feel objects, right? So you use the energy to feel the object, but then you use a little more energy to feel the object. So you first feel, then you feel. Like feel, then feel, right? And you can do as a third one, you can kind of stimulate or circulate, as in once, just say the object has a lot of energy in it, or the person has a lot of energy, you can focus on the object, and then you can it's almost like it's like kneading dough or spiraling. You can spiral it around certain ways. You just kind of like moving it around. I just like focus on the energy, and just it kind of just stimulates. And you can also like imbue in a way, because what happens if you just focus and fill things up like a balloon, it's going to go boop, and it's going to have lots of energy, and then you need to compress it into the thing. I think that's how you energetically build like blood and like fluids and flesh and bone. Just say if someone gets like a cut and you seal it up, basically, like for energy healing, is that you compress, you focus, you feel, and then you compress the energy into the matter of the object by like draining it in or drawing it in to like magnetizing or grounding it into the object. You want to practice that. You want to practice like grounding it into the object. That should be enough to get you going. Of course, there's a lot more stuff you can do. For example, if you've got an actual human or a tree or an animal, mind you, objects can absorb energy. This is an organic object, so it seems to be pretty good. Humans and like living things will have their own energy fields, and if you feel into them the way we felt this, projecting out a little bit, you'll be able to feel different, like pains and certain, like if they got issues at certain areas. It's kind of like a diagnostic. You can practice that. You can, of course, it's a bit difficult to find a person who will willingly let you do this, because a lot of people think this is either nonsense or it doesn't work, or I don't know, man. Maybe it's different. It's a bit like when I was a kid, playing video games and being on the computer was like for weirdos, and then like 10 years later, it's like the people who would like insult you for that, like now it's just normal. I don't know. So I don't know, like, is it like, I don't think so. Otherwise we wouldn't have as many health issues, because then people would be fixing their own health issues with this kind of stuff. So probably not. It hasn't hit the mainstream yet. Doesn't really matter. Point being, try to find someone or terrorize your poor little dog or cat. Not terrorize. I'm sure they'll actually like it. I know cats are very at least some cats I've found, they understand energy, and they're very like electromagnetic almost, where they just brush up against you and you start feeling better because they're like drawing out bad energy or something. Some of them do that. But you'll be able to feel, you'll get it, like the more you do this, the more you'll feel different areas and organs and different like channels, and you'll be able to focus on them and work with them and stuff, right? Which is where the kind of science or like the intricacies of it, because you can, just feeling an object and then condensing it is good, but maybe someone has a heart issue and they specifically need you to work on the heart. And then maybe the heart needs more positive energy or more negative energy, or more cold or hot, or so we get into these, it gets a bit more like, this is kind of how the science of this stuff develops. It gets a bit more intricate, and that lets you fix issues a lot quicker, a lot better, a lot more efficiently, as you get experience, of course, and understand this a bit better, of course. Mind you, I've done this on a couple people. You can actually use this as a weapon. That's an interesting thing. Yeah, as I said, with excessive tension or excessive yin relaxation, that can be poisonous or dangerous. It can be used as a weapon, so again, do be careful of that. So yeah, but otherwise I haven't really practiced a lot on other people, so because I don't have any people, so it's I guess it's back to trees, back to back to working on trees for me. So whatever. So hopefully you can find people to experiment on and help heal. That'd be nice. No more illness, no more sickness. Anyway, that's about enough for this one. So of course, check the links in the description for social commercial stuff. Feel free to comment if you need to ask a question, or maybe you just want to say something nice or whatever, or you need clarification or your own experiences. I wouldn't mind reading your own experiences if you want to tell me that. And of course, oh my goodness, my foot has just gone to sleep. Have a good day. Goodbye.